Greetings, everyone. Just wanted to come in and chat about the Aries full moon and what that means for us, like what's going on in the astrology. My phone is a little lopsided and it's kind of pissing me off. Hey there, everybody. How y'all doing? All right, y'all. It is the Aries full moon. And what an fascinating time. My phone feels lopsided, but it is what it is. Okay, so it's the Aries full moon, and we are in some of the most intense astrology that that any humans have ever experienced that I know of. You know what I mean? Like, of our lifetime, this is some of the most intense astrology, and it's just only about to get more intense. And I wanted to talk about the Aries full moon. Okay, let me have y'all say hello to my kitty because she's trying to get some attention. Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty. That's my aunt, y'all. Okay, so the Aries energy is, hey, Zakia. Aries energy is the initiating force of the masculine, and it's the energy of beginnings. And so the thing that's always really tricky about Aries is that Aries energy is not, it's a reactive energy. It's an energy that really responds. So when you think of Aries, you think of a baby. And babies they don't have full command of themselves. You know, they are a whole lot of things wrapped up in flesh, and their minds are not functioning yet so that they can really think about and execute and be strategic. So Aries has a tendency to just be reactive, right? Like a baby. If you touch a baby, you blow on a baby, they're just going to do, because they don't really have the faculties in place that allow them to organize their energy and thoughts and ways of being. And so this Aries energy is new energy, you all. It's brand new energy. And the thing about brand new energy is that if you've not prepared, if you don't have a plan, that brand new energy can really just come in and like come through your life like a wildfire, right? Because Aries is also fire. So it's important that we really understand that we need plans and that we need to function from this place of being strategic and understanding the energy, so that, you know, it's like a surfer who just sits and waits for the wave to come. I don't know if you guys have watched, I love surfing, right? So I love the ocean, but they're out there, and those surfers, if you look out on the horizon, they'll just be out there just waiting, and they're waiting, and that's the preparation. They don't know when the wave is going to come. They don't know how big it's going to be. They don't know anything, but they are ready for it, right? And Aries is an energy that isn't about readiness, but as we mature and we start to learn how energy works, you know that even though you don't know, you need to just be prepared. Like you need to create a plan. You need to give your energy something to do. You need to set a vision on the horizon, because if you don't, your energy just gets eaten up. Gets eaten up by people, or, you know, bad habits, or old ways of being, right? So you have to really be strategic in your power and how you're using your energy. And that's why you have to do the rituals and the practices so that you can align and harmonize with the reality, so that the energy works on your behalf, so that, you know, if you are setting a tone or a pace or a structure, or you have an idea, then the universe says, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go do that because you have prepared yourself. Now, here's the thing that I really want to talk about today, though. The feminine energy. The feminine is coming back. What does that mean? The mother of creation is rising again in this reality. And many of us are so disconnected from the feminine that we're watching it online. We're watching it, just people are in at war. You know, the masculine and feminine seem to be at war. And the reason we're at war is because women have been in the masculine. Women have spent the last hundreds of years in the masculine. So now, you know, it's like we're fighting for the same position. I remember when I got married, it was such a profound thing because I remember one time my husband at the time said to me, he basically said I was too masculine. He was like, you know, it was like we were in the same role. And, you know, that hurt my feelings. But as I got to understand it, I realized that he was right. Now, we didn't have a clear idea, or really we didn't understand what it meant for me to be in the feminine. In his mind, me being in the feminine meant that I cooked and cleaned and washed dishes and served him. And, you know, sometimes that is what the feminine is. It, you know, occasionally that is it. Or that could be a part of it if that's your agreement. But really, we didn't understand what the feminine really was. And so his idea of feminine energy was just that you are subservient to me. But that was because that was all he understood. That's just what he knew. But now that I understand the feminine so clearly, it's not an energy that is subservient to a human man. It is an energy that is subservient to the divine, to the energetic frequencies of reality that allow you to tap into the intuition, the power, the connection to nature, right? You have to be submissive to the universe in order to do that. Now, when you are submissive to the universe, your energy becomes beneficial for everyone around you. So then you become this natural sort of frequency that emanates love and joy and peace and harmony. And what I am discovering as I have been doing the work to heal myself of generational curses and negative karma that I was born into, like we have to do the work. What I'm seeing is that we are so out of order as women. We are so completely out of order as women. And we don't even know it. We don't even have a clue. And so, and I don't have enough time to explain it to you. That's what I say. I don't have enough time to explain it to you. But I will say that your desire and your sincerity to be true to who you are will get you into your feminine nature, if that is what you are meant to be. Every woman is not here to hold the feminine polarity. I am, because I have a Pisces rising and a Virgo sun. And my moon is masculine, but the moon is feminine always, and my moon is in Gemini. So my energy really leans towards the feminine. And I have had to teach myself, and I am continually teaching myself how to really embody this energy. And it requires such a deep experience of releasing the need to fix and force, and you have to release your attachment to the external reality. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot have your energy externalized, trying to figure out how you're going to get the bag and who said what and what they doing. And you cannot be focused there. That is in the masculine. That is the left brain. Yeah, so that's the right brain thing. And you have to really, to become feminine is to really, really, really release and submit to the invisible, you guys. And I'm telling you, it is the most challenging thing I have ever done. And I'm getting to see all the parts of me that wanted to cling to a man because I was really afraid to do the work that it would take me to do to become who I am. So, many of us will secure ourselves with a man who has money or is successful or whatever, and we don't really have to be in our feminine. Now, don't get me wrong. There are women who understand this. There are women who really are surrendered to the divine and surrendered to their unique connection to divinity. And in being so, in doing so, they are able to create this environment for the people around them that allows them to also be in service in ways that many of us don't even understand or have access to. So, but what it requires is turning off the TV. It requires to turn off the TV. It requires, I have had to clean my body, my diet, through and through and through. And it's not about being a vegan or a vegetarian. It is about being conscious of the relationship to your body as the temple of God. I mean, it is real that we are the temple of God as women. Everyone is the temple of God. But we have this profound connection because we are connected to Source and we have a womb. And if we don't honor it, that's why women can't get pregnant anymore. Or, when we're having children, there's all sorts of stuff going on because we are not doing the work to make our bodies be the temple of God, to activate the consciousness of Christ inside of you, to embody the energy of Oshun and Yemaya and Oya. Like we are the thing. You are it. There is no deity outside of you. You are the temple by which these energies express. And if your body, if you're drinking alcohol, if you're unconscious, let's say it this way, if you are unconscious in what you are putting in your body, whether that be food, water, or penises, if you are unconscious about it, if you are misaligned, then you are doing harm to your own energy system. And so I just know with this moon in Aries, this full moon energy in Aries, this masculine energy, it is very significant. It is very important, necessary, vital that we really begin to wake up to our codes. Who are you? How are you made? You can't come to this stuff by just the ideas because we're undoing generations of stuff, right? So we're not at the time on the planet where you can just be like, oh, I'm going to snap my finger into it. We have to literally do the work to unclog the consciousness. It's literally like we've been running thousands of years, lifetimes, generations of being in the dark ages. And so we're so far away from the information. So we can't you've got to really walk yourself into this, teach yourself into this, fast yourself into this, ritual yourself into this. And let me say, most people ain't gonna do it. This is the most rigorous work I have ever done in my life. And most people are not up for it. They just are not. It is a deep, deep, deep transformation. And most people don't have the energy. They don't have the energy because and where does the energy come from? It comes from your family. It comes from the generations before you, right? So I happen to be a woman, like I'm in my 50s. The fact that I'm in my 50s and I've gotten to this place, this is like miraculous. It really is. And it's not me though. It's the Creator. It's that I have had a pure, sincere desire to know myself as I'm meant to be. But it's not anything that I've done. It's really just desire. It's really like nothing else here works for me. Like I've never been able to find anything else that actually connects me to myself. So I have, and here's the thing, as I've had to really begin to trust like what is I'm feeling. And most women, we are afraid to feel. And that is the entry point to the feminine energy, to your feminine power, through your feeling system, through your senses. That's Venus, through your sensory energy. And so if you can't connect to the energy of Oshun and feel, and I'm talking about feel, Like, feel the pain, feel the joy, feel the sadness, feel the grief. You have to feel it. And if you cannot feel, you cannot have power. Because the moment, I remember one time many, many years ago, when I first started really getting into this work, I think I was about 40. And I came across this young brother. His name was Chris. And I met him at a workshop that Nitayama was doing on tantric energy, where they would move the energy through the body and your body just sort of jerks around because the energy. And I realized that I was afraid to feel. And when I started to do the work, why I was afraid to feel is because, as women, many of us grow up in environments where the environments don't feel safe, because there are men out there who are perpetrators and predators. And so as a teenager, I learned to hold my energy in, trying to turn off my sexuality, because I could feel the sexuality in me so strongly, but I was in an environment where it wasn't safe to feel that energy, because you were going to be molested or raped. So I turned it off. And when you turn it off, you are literally just making yourself sick. So I turned it off because of shame and Christianity and Jesus and men and all that sort of stuff. But then having to do the work to reopen it has been the most rigorous work of my life. And so, as women, it is important that we learn to feel. And you have to feel everything. You can't just feel the good stuff. You got to feel all the stuff, because we have to clear out that clogged up sensory system that was backed up by your mother and your grandmother and her grandmother, because everybody's been avoiding feeling for all the reasons, right? We're in this culture that's racist. We have not felt safe feeling. And that's why I said most of us are not going to make it this lifetime, because you're not going to be willing to do the work to feel the stuff that needs to be felt. And it is not fun, but it is valuable. So, wow. My throat chakra whenever my throat chakra does something, I know that I'm afraid. Like there's fear nearby. And so my throat just did a thing, because I know this because I've been listening to myself and being with my body and asking questions and being with my liver and my yoni and my womb and my breast and my eyes. And I've been really understanding this vehicle that is this body. And so, our ability to feel is the key as women. If we cannot feel, then we cannot be in our role. And our role is the one that connects life to the Creator. So if you can, that's why in labor, we have this, like, to give birth to something is painful. And, many of us don't even feel that anymore. We have, we epidural and C-section and all that, because we're attempting to avoid the pain. And I understand that, because the pain is painful. But we have got to get to a place in our lives, starting now, that we are willing to be courageous. That's what this Aries full moon is. It's saying be courageous. Venus is square Uranus. It's like the surprises are coming in. Feel it. I just had this really interesting experience, because like I said, I shut down my feelings because I was really afraid to interact with men, because I felt that they were dangerous and violent. And so because I had that internal subconscious agreement inside of myself, my interactions with men have always been like, I've been timid. I've not been willing to really be in my power, because I was really holding some fear that wasn't just my fear. It was my mother's fear. It was my grandmother's fear. It was my great-grandmother. I got a great-grandmother who was raped, who my grandmother is the product of this rape. She was raped in a white man's house. I used to watch my mother and father fight all the time, right? There's just a lot of violence and trauma. So we have to thaw that stuff out. You have to walk through it. You cannot cheat your way through this. You can't fake your way through it. I have done it, y'all. I have been like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship. And realize I just pushed my feelings aside. I've just been suppressing myself. And I started doing a liver detox and plant medicine ceremonies and realizing I was holding all this stuff and it would show up in my colon. I was constipated because I wasn't really allowing my feelings to flow. Too afraid to feel. Too afraid to feel. So we have a lot of work to do, ladies. That's all I can say is we have a lot of work to do. I hope you guys are doing it, because if we don't do the work as women, women create the reality. So if women don't do the work, then we are the hindrance to the men. We become the hindrance, because if we're in the masculine, then we are fighting for a role. And this idea of being feminine has nothing to do with being submissive to a man at all. But it does mean being submissive to the creator that is within you. You have your own masculine energy, ladies. You are a masculine energy and a feminine energy. You lean more feminine than you do masculine because you have a woman's body, but you are both. And so it is important for you to heal your own masculine energy. And how I knew that was because I had my father was the imprint of my masculine energy. So I didn't have to go far to see what the problem was, because I knew that Jesse Ruffin was the start of it in my realities, right? So I had to understand that. The stories I told about him, what I believed about him, the judgments I held about him, all that stuff was playing, all those beliefs were playing out in my relationships with other men. Because this is an energetic system, and you're always going to get what you give out. But it's subconscious for women. That's why it's important for us to understand. I will never forget, you guys, when I got divorced, and I was so angry about how it happened. And I don't need to get into that story, but that's because that's not the point of it. But I was so angry. I was seething, and I was wishing that he felt what I felt. I was like, just all the time. And then one day he called me and he said, Monique, my car was totaled and I got hit by a Mack truck. And I heard the voice in my head say, you did that. And that's what I mean when I say, as women, we don't understand our power, so we misuse it, because we're not understanding that we are the force of nature. We are the force of the creator. We are the invisible. But because we're disembodied and we're in our heads and we're not using it correctly, we're not understanding how it functions, we misuse it. And we use it in ways that harm ourselves and other people. And so so that's it. That's all I wanted to come and say today. It's been a while since I've been here. Happy full moon in Aries, you guys. What an incredible time that we are alive in. And you guys know I have my Follow the Sun community. We're doing incredible things right now. We're about to do a great class called Revolutionizing the Ancestral Shadow. Me and a sister named Curti, we're doing that together. Gabrielle and I are doing 13 Moons. Like, we have all sorts of things that we can engage in. Adina just did Goddess Technology. Like, we're doing a lot of work at Follow the Sun to help us reignite the feminine energy in our lives. And this is true for men too. Men have feminine energy also. Most men are not connected to their feelings. And men need to be connected to their feelings as well. So, like I said, you can't talk yourself into this. You have to do the work to get there. And we live in a world right now that is very chaotic because it's coming undone. And so I encourage you all to get clear what your intention is, because this world is about to be very, very distracting. And what we have to understand as melanated beings, that we are connected to the power of the sun. So wherever we focus on, because the sun shines on the just and the unjust equally, right? But it's not equal. Because when you have melanin, your melanin is far greater than anything that doesn't have the kind of melanin you have. It is far greater. So it is really important for us to do the work, because the light is getting so powerful on the planet that people are starting to lose their minds because they have not done the work to feel. That's why I feel bad for white people. I really do, because they have been in this illusion that they are superior. And so they haven't built the muscle that they need in order to be able to be with the rigor of life. Things have been handed to them, so they don't have any real power. And as this system collapses, they are going to really suffer if they don't start doing their work. And I never in my life thought that I would say I feel bad for them, but I do. I feel like, wow, because it's like, it's like being given the answers to the math equations without knowing how to actually get to do the equation yourself. You know what I mean? It's like you copy somebody's paper and you get the answers right, but then the teacher comes and says, explain to me how you did this. And you don't have an explanation because you had a cheat code. But the cheat code puts you at a disadvantage. And that's what's going on for white people right now. They're at a disadvantage because they have not understood the rules of engagement with nature. And nature always wins, y'all. Nature always wins. All right. So I want to read you guys' comments because I haven't talked to y'all in a long time. And when I close this up, the comments go away. Happy full moon to you too, Matthew. Happy full moon, everybody. Somebody else said something that men's versions of feminine often equate to docile. Yes, they do. Sending you love and light on your full moon. Thank you for the message today. I appreciate your expansion of the feminine energy. Absolutely. It's my pleasure. How we do get in order if we've had to be in our masculine to survive for so long. You have to want to get in order, first of all. Because everything can be course corrected. Everything can be healed. The universe is a magical place. It's a magical, beautiful, beautiful place. So if you want it, be sincere in your desire for it. And if you're sincere in your desire for it, that means you're willing to sacrifice the things that keep you from it. If you're sincere in your desire for it, you're going to sacrifice what you need to sacrifice to get to where you want to be. So you have to ask yourself, how serious are you? And if you're serious, then it'll be provided, right? Like if you're serious, you'll do what you need to do. If you're serious, you'll have the money. If you're serious, the universe will open. If you're serious, if you're devoted to it, it will show up for you. I cannot emphasize enough how much your words resonate. Of course, Matthew. All right, y'all. I think those are the only comments that I saw that I needed to. Okay. I think that's it. You came in at the right time. Hey, happy birthday, Central Energy. I know we're in Libra season now, but you and I are both Virgos, so happy birthday to you. How can I get involved with the programs? You can go to my link tree here and join Follow the Sun in my link tree, and or send me a message and I'll send you a link. And yeah, so we're doing all of that. All right, y'all. I love y'all. We're alive on the planet at a time right now. Whoo! We are the ones, y'all. We are the ones. We are the fucking ones. We're about to change this game around. It's about to be a whole new game. For real, though. Like, not this prissy, primpy shit. This is about to be OG feminine energy. Like, the gangster feminine energy. Like devoted to herself and her higher calling. And what she can do is transform everything. She can transform everything, the one that is devoted to herself. Our young girls need to hear this so much. Absolutely. So they need to be the community that I am growing with, the people that I'm growing it with are, we're about building family. We're about building community. We're about really understanding who we are. And so we especially want to bring young girls because if we have to teach them, we have to teach them. We have to teach them. They won't learn it otherwise. And so my generation is really the first generation that is having the wisdom and the tools to not just have it be head talk, but to have it be embodied. And it has to be embodied. It's a true embodiment, and it requires disconnecting from everything that we've ever known. You have to question everything, especially all these romantic connections. Like, the romance story is killing us, y'all. It is sucking the life out of us. All right, y'all. I love y'all so very much. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.